anytime I get home, I go home with her. We go from the airport to any restaurant, right?
The most interesting thing was actually my wife, right? She had this, it wasn't really a culture shock, but it was more like the way people interacted with each other, right? Because she gets people just...
I could feel it. She didn't want to come back.
Come back to China.
Yeah. Because
How are the kids able to even speak English? So they were surprised. They thought
Dear Let's Wave, another day, another episode, and we are
back again.
all right. My man, it seems to be dozing off.
I wasn't.
My man over there, right there, Mr. L, went back home, and I think it was interesting because a lot of people were asking, like, oh, how did the kids feel, right, when they went back home? Were they able to assimilate? Were they accepted, right, since they were born in China? People find it a little bit interesting and fascinating, thinking, oh, their whole lives they grew up here, right? One is about 8 years old, and they keep wondering how did they fare when they went back to their homeland. So we're gonna dive into that today to find out what went down in Ghana when the kids dropped from China.
Yeah.
Alright, so same with me, same with my man S. We all have kids here. Our kids were had in China, Shanghai specifically. But then it's interesting because every time we go back home and we come back, you know, our friends yell out, how did the kid do? How was the food for them? Were they able to integrate? And it's a pretty interesting topic, so we decided to delve.
Delve.
No, dive.
Whatever.
No, you can dive. You dive into stuff.
Whatever.
Or you die.
Sleep.
Okay, so we're gonna slip into it and see what the kids' experiences were. You guys might also have like similar experiences. Drop in the comment section. Yeah, you went home recently, so let's take it from you. How were the kids? How did they kind of like take everything in?
to be honest, I think right from the airport, they fit in immediately. We were shocked. Me and my wife were shocked, and even my family was shocked because before we left, my sister was like, I should try to conscientize them that when they come to China, Ghana, they're going to meet their aunties and uncles are all fat and tall people. And
is that true though?
Well, I mean, if you compare sizes
yeah.
between Asian and
Okay.
so she was coming from that angle.
But is the difference that big? I mean, when you say fat and tall,
Sounds like
Well,
giant.
tall, yes.
in some cases,
Tall, yes.
Okay, so
Chubby.
for someone from back home who think that Chinese are all like,
Yeah.
No, but I mean, people back home in Ghana, they look just like us. So what are we saying?
but on average,
On
they're bigger
average,
than Asians.
Okay,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah.
sounds like giants, like fat.
So-
Yeah, we are
Yeah.
giants. Because anytime I go home, I also.
So basically,
like,
she was trying to let me conscientize them so they can fit in properly.
Did you do that though?
Nothing.
Okay.
Because I knew that it won't be a problem.
Okay.
Once we got home and my whole family, about 20 people were at the airport. They were just
20
Wow.
at the airport.
yeah.
Akufo-Addo don't even get that kind of
came.
reception,
That's an
man.
entire
Everybody
convoy.
came,
That's
and
nice.
because I have many nieces and nephews, and people even left work and came.
When was the last time you went home there?
Last summer, 2014, August.
2014.
Yeah, just last 6 months ago, 7 months ago.
2014.
2024, sorry.
That's
This is like Jack Toronto move.
I mean, my question was, when was the last time before this trip?
I went in 2019, 2020, early.
But they were quite.
They didn't go.
They didn't go.
I
Okay.
went alone.
Okay, so they've never visited the
The
country.
older one went once.
Yeah.
When he was a baby.
Yeah,
And
okay.
this time they both went when they were.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was actually, we were all surprised, and they were interacting with everybody already, and when we got home they were already like playing around. In terms of food, I've already introduced them to some of the foods here, and so they already know I eat with my hands sometimes, and sometimes they also want to try it. And so when we went home,
What did you cook?
sometimes I make banku and fufu and all that. Yeah, I do it like red. Sometimes I make red.
No, you did, but it's not good.
Yeah. So
That's the answer I'm looking for. Continue.
yeah, so when we got home, they were already familiar. Of course, they can't eat everything, but the jollofs, the red, the yam with palava sauce, contemporary stew, all those ones, they actually, it wasn't a problem, to be honest. And the little one especially, she wouldn't eat fried eggs here, but when we went home, she was like, the fried eggs, they're different.
Yeah.
And I was like, how different?
Levels. Yeah.
Because those chickens go jogging.
So yeah, in all, I just want to say that my wife and I were surprised how they were able to adjust. And even my family asked me, they were speaking English and they were like, you guys live in China, how are the kids able to even speak English? So they were surprised. They thought they were just going to be some kids who were only speaking Chinese and sitting somewhere alone,
to
not
themselves,
interacting.
yeah.
But it was beautiful, to be honest. It was
How was the
stress-free.
experience, man?
Mine, Shanice went dancing. Like the moment we got to the airport, we got out. A cousin of mine came to pick us up, and then she was just running around all over the airport already. So from usually any time I get home, I go home with her. We go from the airport to any restaurant, right? We went to a restaurant in East Legon. She just went dancing.
Big things.
No, that's why I leave. But that's why I leave. Not my house is not in East Legon. I live in Bawalishi, but we have to find a restaurant there, living room. If people know those people, she just went dancing. She took over the floor, had some juice, and she was fine.
Did her own boogie.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I took my kid, though, to be honest, she was just I think she was like 2-3 years old, so she had no idea about nothing. That was the first kid. But the most interesting thing was actually my wife, right? She had this, it wasn't really a culture shock, but it was more like the way people interacted with each other, right? Because she gets people just walking by us and they're like, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah.
Right? And that is very basic
Why is this
in Ghanaian
person saying
society.
hello
Good
to
morning.
me?
Exactly. She found it
Yeah.
pretty weird because she was like, do I know him? I'm like, no, I don't. I'm like, it's very normal in Ghana. We just say good morning to everybody. When it's like,
Form of courtesy. Yeah.
yeah, because here nobody does that. You could live with your neighbor for 100 years. They would never say yeah. They would never say hi, right?
Right.
And I think that's one of those things that you kind of miss about Ghana, right?
Yeah.
The
Hospitality.
community feel that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So that was her biggest shock. The way everybody just says hi or good morning, and like naturally start playing with your kid, right? Oh, how old is she? Like,
Yeah.
and it's very endearing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes you feel like you actually want it, or you kind of like you want it in that part of like society. So. It was a good time. It was a good time for her to see like a different part of China, to be honest. But I have also another thing. Do you feel like the kids are able to assimilate that quickly and easily because they're just young and they do not know the differences between like countries and people and stuff like that?
I was also thinking about that. I think that when they are young, it helps when the kids are young. When they are maybe above 10,
In their teens.
then it might be a little difficult because they've already developed certain habits and you got to use certain things. But kids, they easily adjust anywhere. So I think it also maybe helps because they're young. They're younger.
It's true. I do agree. Yeah, it's easy for kids to blend in those kind of places, and also when you genuinely they can see people want to play with them. They feel like when you feel welcome. You just want to be yourself and do your thing, especially at that age. So.
Was there anything in particular you noticed they did not like? I mean, obviously there should be something that they were not
naturally
comfortable with or did not like, or wanted to come back to China as soon as possible.
Nah. That word wanting to come back never exists.
Yeah.
They wanted to do more. We went to the beach, ride horses, and rode on horses. And the only thing I realized she doesn't really like is fish. But from here, I
Or you
knew-
mean like generally, she did not like Ghana fish?
No, generally
doesn't
she's
eat
not a fish. But I tried. But she tried fish. She tried the tilapia, and that was the first time she had fish.
Right.
But it was a bit spicy. Cried a little bit, but continued. You know. And since then she has never. But apart from that, she didn't. Okay, I could feel it. She didn't want to come back.
Come back as in come back to China.
Yeah, because she wants to go to the beach. Right? She wants to drive around. We drove around. We went to Volta region, Central. We traveled, and I think she enjoyed that. But she's young too, 5 years, 6 years or something.
So you cannot pinpoint one particular thing she was like, no, I don't want this. Culture, the people.
No. The music is her favorite.
All right,
She
that
just
sounds
go
good.
and no wonder she's a guy, so it's okay.
The
Anything in
only
particular?
the only thing that I can't say if they liked it or they didn't like it because they're always talking about the roads. They call it bumpy correction road. That's the only thing I can say. And honestly, they didn't want to come back just like you.
Yeah.
Maybe because we're thinking they're young. Because they had so much family around them. They had so much love around them. And they just felt like it was freer than here. Because here you have to there are some little things. You go into someone's house, you have to go through a gate. In Ghana, you just walk in, or you just park in front of someone's house, and you get in, and they're already serving you with drinks and all that. And I think there's something that, like you're saying, we kind of don't see how important it is, but it's very important. Like here, you can't just get up and say even a close friend. You can't just get up and say I'm going to my friend's house. Whereas back home, you can hey, I'm on the way or I'm coming to your brother or sister's house.
Yeah.
Those things, I think kids they can see it, but they can feel it. They can feel some sort of freedom in the lifestyle. Yeah, there are a lot of things that we miss, and I think the kids can feel it too. It's like when they're here, just like most places abroad, like people are kind of cold. That cordiality is not really there. But back home, it's like, even my wife was, this has been a third time, and every time she's surprised. You walk into like a Total shop or gas station, any place, you see the waiters carry the basket following you and helping you to, and she finds it very, very strange and interesting because you don't get those things here. So that cordiality that we have, I think, just makes people comfortable in a way. It's hard to describe, but you just feel at home, no matter if you're a foreigner. And I think the kids can feel it as well. So honestly, they didn't want to come back, and when we came back, the first 2 weeks, they were always asking, when are we going to live in Ghana? When are we going to live in Ghana? Of course, as kids, they'll forget after some time. But every now and then they ask again, because I think they really enjoy the whole experience.
So do you think it's possible to take them home permanently?
It is possible. I'm thinking about, then you have to relocate.
Yeah, pretty much, of course.
Yeah, you have to relocate, establish something. And we've talked about business and everything. So, but if, it depends. The truth is, for me, I'm speaking for myself, I would like to relocate one time so that but I will not force her to do that with me. You understand? So, but if she's, let's say she's 18 or 20 and she'll, Daddy, you know what? I'm done with this place. I want to go back and stay in Ghana because I feel I love Ghana more than this place. It's a choice. But I will not push it. I will not push it. I want her to make her own decision. So, but me personally, one day I'll move home.
So in terms of like the upbringing in general, right? I mean, it's totality. Do you think it would have been better to bring them up in Ghana, or bringing them up here is way better than bringing them up in Ghana?
And for various reasons, I think here is better.
Can we get two of those reasons?
I feel they are safer. And I also think that kids here behave like kids, like their age. You understand what I mean?
Nope.
Okay, so if you take like a Ghanaian kid, let's say little girl, 9, 10, or 8. Let's say 8, 9, right? They're about, because our kids are just around that same age. They behave like kids of that age. But in Ghana, I feel, in Ghana, let me stick to Ghana.
You mature quicker.
Yeah, I feel you matured quicker. You understand? So that's my observation.
Yeah, I get it, but what causes that, like rapid maturity?
I don't know.
I think it's just because we are made to kind of like partake in tasks and stuff like that at home. So you get to the mature quicker, right? Because it's like doing dishes, stuff like that. Helping your parents out. Doing things that here that kid would not do. They only focus on the education.
The hustle is real.
Activities, stuff like that. Yeah, but back in Ghana, it's like from 4, 5, 6 years old. You start, washing dishes, helping mom get some stuff done,
sweeping the compound,
stuff like that. So I think that is one of the things, or one of those reasons that make kids kind of mature a little. But is that a bad thing though?
It is not. It's not. It's not. I remember when I made a bad mistake when I was around 6.
I think
7.
every mistake is bad.
Yeah, I really made a. My cousin washed my stuff.
Mistake, but he said he made a bad mistake.
Wash our school uniform and stuff.
Sense.
And one day
he's not listening, but he's not making.
Buy this for me, and I said no. She didn't say anything. Mom came, reported me. From that moment, my mom said, from today onwards, you wash your own school stuff, and that was it. I've washed all my life.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But I don't know what, because we were trying to look at where is, I don't know, where the upbringing might be better. And you said you think here, right? And you said it's because here kids are kids. That's what I'm asking. Is it a bad thing or?
It is not a bad thing. Even you talk about washing and cooking, and it's also not bad because here they do teach that. I just feel it is the environment. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but you can see.
Physically.
Yeah, physically you can see.
Yeah, I would take it this way. I think I've always said that I think up to a certain age, I would say up to about 10, 11, I think maybe it's better here because when there are so many support facilities.
Before 10, 11.
Before 10, 11,
Okay.
yes. There are so many support facilities here that aid the raising of a kid. You talked about safety, that's one. Two, there are parks everywhere. Like the way the environment is built,
Structure.
there's a consideration for children. Whereas back home, you only can play at home or at a friend's
But
house.
with the safety, though, is that to say kids in Ghana are not as safe as?
not in that aspect.
Not yeah.
I think when I talk about safety, it's not like Ghana is not safe, but it's like the way even our communities are built, right? You can't just let your kids go like in the neighborhood.
Why is that?
Because when we're growing up, there were not too many people and there were not too many cars, and the way the neighborhoods were set up, right? A neighbor would see your kid and they would correct them or bring them home. Or
Yeah, but
something
things
like
have changed.
Things have changed.
Seriously changed. Yeah.
Right. But here they're already used to those things.
Yeah.
And added to that, here they have, even if you go to a mall, right, in Ghana, you have some play areas, but if your kids want to play in Ghana, it's either you pay a huge sum of money or it's hard to find a place. But here you go to a mall, a park, there are facilities for children. They always think about children.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying that I think up to a certain age, it's okay to be here. But I think that after maybe around 12, I'm feeling it might be better in Ghana because I think there are certain things, certain life lessons we learn
Norms. Yeah.
that a kid from that age should know that it's not all rosy. You have to learn certain things the hard way. And so I understand.
You think they don't have it here?
They do, but I think they're still very pampered at that age. And I'm not saying that in Ghana we should.
So it goes back to what I said. Like when you look at the age,
Right.
they behave like their age.
Right.
You know, and even beyond.
Right.
Yeah, you meet a 15-year-old here, and he behaves like 8-year-old.
Right.
You know.
But let me just add that aspect if I would like to live back home. I think that everybody wants to live in their home country.
Yeah.
It's the most comfortable place for you. And I feel like relocating with a family, I always say that if you have a decent place to live, you have a business or a job that gives you enough to live a decent life, I think the best place, in my opinion, will be to relocate to Ghana.
I agree.
Not for because I mean, you can always travel anywhere, but if I look at all the dynamics, like cordiality, how you feel when you're just out and about,
Food. Most important
Emphasize on that one again.
yeah, exactly. You're busy. You can just leave your kid at your sister or your cousin's place. These places it's so difficult to do these things.
Nobody has the time.
Exactly, nobody has the time. So I think that when your kids are above 12, 13, where they don't need playground and all those things anymore, it might be easier to live in Ghana. But when they're younger than that, it's difficult because there are certain things that they're already used to that they won't find in Ghana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like you rightfully said, I don't think everybody really wants to live in their native or home country. Like you say, it depends, right? It depends on how comfortable your life is, how, society treats you, right? Some people leave because of different reasons, not necessarily because they're not comfortable.
Yeah.
The reasons might be diverse, but the most important thing is, like you said, right? There's more community vibe, but that's one thing I always kind of like feel like it's changed though. But there's not a lot of community based.
It has changed. Yeah, it's not like
You still see it in the streets though. Like you still find like.
No, but I feel in terms of like develop. I feel like we've also gone a bit into the gentrification, like,
Yeah.
sector. It's like everything is being brought down. All the roads we used to play football on, I think they all being like either tarred or
Today you want to play
exactly
football.
either tarred or being like real estate and stuff like. So you cannot really have that kind of like childhood that we had growing up.
Every house is walled.
Now everybody wants to live in a wall.
Exactly.
Play.
Just threw a ball on the ground and we just start
Everybody run and play. Yeah.
Right.
So I don't think it's the same. So I feel like I think it's changed. I don't think you can just leave your kid with somebody like you said when we were growing up.
No.
I don't think it's everybody's also busy kind of trying to realize their dreams and pursue goals. So I don't think it's as same
But
as
still better than here, though.
possibly with the community vibe. Yeah, I still think it's definitely going to be a lot better than here. So that means it's more isolating here. You feel more isolated.
Yeah,
without friends, without family.
He said it in his presentation. You don't even, or you said it. You don't even know your neighbor.
Yeah.
And you see each other every morning.
Yeah, but
you don't even
that's
look
a
at
good thing, right? So you mind your business, I mind mine.
Someone said in Ghana we greet too much.
We greet too much. Good morning. Good morning.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, imagine you not being in a good mood and somebody saying good morning.
What is good about this morning?
What is good about this morning? So
Yeah.
So I mean, there are, like you said, ups and downs to every situation or scenario. So we'll take it as it is. So I mean, overall, I think pretty much our kids had like wonderful times going back home, and I think, like you say, just because of the reception they had, there's this community vibe. You feel like everybody's interested genuinely in playing with you, or trying to understand where you're coming from, stuff like that. So. Yeah, so from DLS Wave, we think if you got families out there, try to take them home as well. Let them understand, the two different cultures and also. But the thing I like about going back home is I don't really keep them in the fancy places. It's better to take them to slums so they can understand that they have a good life, so they don't take it for granted. So DLS Wave, we hope you guys can resonate with whatever we said. You have any experiences, do share in the comment section. We do appreciate it, and we see you in the next episode.
Peace.